I hadn't felt that relaxed in years. No stress, no tension, no constant "what's next" in my head. Just me, sitting there with a burger in one hand, a cold drink in the other, laughing with people I hadn't really connected with in a long time. For the first time in what felt like forever, I wasn't a husband. I wasn't responsible for anything. I was just me. And then, the door opened, and everything changed. Intro CTA. Before we get into this story, if you've ever had something you were really looking forward to completely ruined in seconds, hit that like button. And if you enjoy real, emotional, drama-filled stories like this, make sure you subscribe. Because this one, it gets uncomfortable. The routine. Most days of my life followed the exact same pattern. Wake up, check my phone, scroll through emails I didn't want to answer, get ready for work. My wife would already be up most mornings, moving around the kitchen, making coffee, sometimes talking about plans for the day. Don't forget, we might go to my parents' place this weekend. Oh, and my sister might stop by later. Also, we should probably fix that thing in the living room. It wasn't bad, just constant. There was always something, and I didn't really notice it at first. But over time, I realized something strange. I didn't really have time that was just mine anymore. Not in a dramatic way. Not in a "my life is terrible" way. Just quietly. Everything I did started including someone else, even when I wasn't doing anything. Internal thought. When was the last time I just sat somewhere without having to explain it? Relationships. Now don't get me wrong. I actually get along really well with my wife's family. Her dad? Solid guy. Her brother? Easy to talk to. Even her sister? Loud, a little chaotic, but generally fine. Family dinners were normal. Birthdays, gatherings, random visits. I was always there. And honestly, I didn't mind it. But there was something missing. Something I hadn't really admitted to myself yet. Internal thought. I don't really have my own space anymore, do I? The idea. It started small. Just a random message. Her brother texted me one afternoon. "Hey, thinking of grabbing burgers this Friday. Maybe hit the brewery after. You in?" I stared at the message longer than I should have. It wasn't a big deal. Just food. Just hanging out. But something about it felt different. Internal thought. When was the last time I did something like this? Then another message came in. Her dad. "We should all go. Haven't done that in a while." And then my friend chimed in too. Suddenly it wasn't just a casual idea. It was a plan. The key detail. No wives. No partners. No distractions. Just a guy's night. And I don't know why, but that detail stuck with me. Internal thought. This is actually mine. The conversation. That evening, I mentioned it casually. "Hey, I might go out Friday. With your dad, your brother, and a friend. Just burgers and a brewery." She didn't respond immediately. Not in a dramatic way. Just a pause. A small one, but noticeable. "Just you guys." Her tone wasn't angry, but it wasn't neutral either. "Yeah, just a guy's night. Nothing big." Another pause. Then a half smile. "Oh, okay." And that should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. Small signs, important build-up. Over the next couple days, little comments started slipping in. Nothing direct. Nothing you could point at and say, "That's a problem." But enough to feel off. Must be nice to just go out whenever. Wish we did more stuff like that. You guys are going to the brewery? That place is actually really fun. Each comment was small. But together, they started building something. Internal thought. Does she want to come? The comparison. Then it hit me. A few weeks earlier, she had her own night out. Her and her sister. Valentine's Day. They went to a party. Dressed up, went out, had fun. And not once did I even think about showing up. Internal thought. Because it wasn't my place. That was her space, her time, her thing. And I respected that. Completely. So why did this feel different? The day of the night. Friday finally came. And I'll be honest, I was actually excited. Not in a huge, over-the-top way. But quietly. Like something I didn't realize I needed. I got ready a little earlier than usual. Picked out a decent shirt. Checked the time more than I should have. My wife noticed. You seem excited. I laughed it off. It's just food. But even I knew that wasn't true. Internal thought. It's not just food, it's a break. Final warning sign. Right before I left, she said something. Something small. But it stayed with me. Don't stay out too late. Again, normal sentence. But the tone? Not quite. I nodded. Yeah, I won't. And then I left. The drive. The drive felt lighter. Music sounded better. Traffic didn't annoy me as much. Even the air felt different. It was strange. How something so simple could feel so refreshing. The restaurant. We met up. Sat down. Ordered food. And almost immediately, the conversation just flowed. No interruptions. No pressure. No, we should probably go soon. Just jokes. Stories. Laughing about old stuff. Talking about random things that didn't matter. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could just exist. Internal thought. I needed this more than I thought. The brewery. After we finished eating, we headed to the brewery. The place had that warm, low-light atmosphere. Music in the background. People talking, laughing. Glasses clinking. We found a table. Sat down. Drinks came. And the conversations got deeper. Not serious. Just real. Her dad telling stories. Her brother joking around. My friend bringing up things we hadn't talked about in years. Time slowed down. Internal thought. This is what I've been missing. And then, right in the middle of a conversation, her brother was saying something. Everyone was laughing. I leaned back in my chair, completely relaxed. And that's when I heard it. The sound of the door opening. I didn't think anything of it at first. Just another person walking in. Until I heard a voice. A very familiar voice. And my stomach dropped. Cliffhanger end, stop here. I slowly turned my head toward the entrance. And the second I saw who was standing there, smiling, looking directly at me, I knew. This night was over. The moment our eyes met, she smiled. Like nothing was wrong. Like this was completely normal. And somehow, that made it worse. Short CTA. If you've ever had someone cross a line, and act like it's no big deal, hit like. Because this is where things start getting uncomfortable. The entrance. I didn't even realize I had stopped breathing. She stood there, just inside the entrance of the brewery, scanning the room like she was looking for someone. But she already knew where I was. Because the second our eyes locked, her face lit up. Oh, there you are. And just like that, every conversation at our table died. Her dad turned his head first, then her brother, then my friend. 4 people, all looking in the same direction. At the same time, and then, her sister stepped in behind her. Internal thought. You've got to be kidding me. The approach. They didn't hesitate, didn't pause, didn't even give that moment of, oh, should we? No. They walked straight toward us. confident, comfortable, like they belonged there. My wife reached the table first. She leaned slightly forward, smiling like she had just run into me at a grocery store. Wow, small world, huh? That sentence hit harder than anything else. Internal thought. Small world? Seriously? Her sister laughed lightly behind her. Yeah, we were just nearby and thought we'd stop in. Nearby. Of course. First strange event. I forced a smile. Because what else was I supposed to do? Start a scene? In front of her dad? Her brother? Yeah, that's funny, I said. Even to my own ears, it sounded off. Flat. But something didn't sit right. Not just emotionally. Logically. Internal thought. This place isn't on the way to anything. It wasn't the kind of place you just randomly passed by. You came here on purpose. They sit down. And then, without asking, they pulled up chairs. That moment, that exact moment, that was when something inside me shifted. Because now it wasn't a coincidence anymore. It wasn't a quick hello. It wasn't, we'll let you get back to your night. They were staying. Her sister grabbed an empty chair and dropped into it like she had been invited hours ago. My wife followed, right next to me. Too close. Hope you guys don't mind, she said casually. No one answered right away. Her dad cleared his throat. Yeah, it's fine. But even he didn't sound convinced. Internal thought. This isn't fine. The vibe shift. Everything changed. Instantly. The jokes stopped landing. The conversation slowed. Everyone became aware. Before it was easy. Now it felt like performance. My friend leaned back, sipping his drink quietly. Her brother suddenly seemed more reserved. Even her dad wasn't talking as much. And my wife? She was completely comfortable. Too comfortable. Tension builds. So what were you guys talking about? She asked, looking around the table. No one answered immediately. Just stuff, I said. She smiled. Sounds exciting. That tone again. Light. Playful. But just slightly pointed. Her sister chimed in. You didn't think we'd miss out on all the fun, did you? Internal thought. Miss out? It wasn't for you. But I didn't say it. Not yet. Subtle control. A server came by. Can I get you anything? Before I could even think, my wife answered. Yeah, I'll have what he's having. She didn't even look at me. Just assumed. And somehow, that small thing irritated me more than it should have. Internal thought. You weren't even supposed to be here. Forced normal. I tried. I really did. I tried to go back into the conversation. Tried to laugh when appropriate. Tried to act like nothing was wrong. And for a moment, it almost worked. Her dad started telling a story again. My friend added something funny. Her brother laughed. And I thought, okay, maybe I'm overreacting. Internal thought. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. That was my mistake. Third event, the shift. About 10 minutes later, I noticed something. My wife wasn't really part of the conversation. She was watching me. Not constantly, but enough. Every time I laughed, every time I spoke, every time I relaxed, her eyes were there, observing. And then, she asked a question, out of nowhere. So, how long were you planning to stay? The table went quiet again. Internal thought. What kind of question is that? I shrugged. Not sure. Just hanging out. She nodded slowly. That. It wasn't neutral. Chaos builds, micro-tension. Her sister leaned forward. Yeah, we almost didn't come, you know. I looked at her. Almost. She smiled. Yeah, but she really wanted to. And then, She glanced at my wife. That split-second glance. That was everything. Internal thought. So this wasn't random. The phone. My phone buzzed. I looked down. Unknown number. I frowned. Declined it. A few seconds later. Buzzed. Again. Same number. Internal thought. Who keeps calling like this? I ignored it. Put my phone face down. But something about it felt off. Pressure rises. My wife noticed. Who's that? I shook my head. No idea. She didn't respond. Just watched. That same look. Internal thought. Why does this feel like I'm being monitored? Third call. Buzz. Again. This time louder. More noticeable. Everyone heard it. My friend smirked slightly. Man, someone really wants you. I forced a small laugh. Yeah, apparently. But inside, something was tightening. Final build, the message. Then, a message came through. Not a call. A text. I picked up my phone. Hesitated. Opened it. Unknown number. Just one line. Enjoying your night? My stomach dropped. Who is this? I looked up, and for a second, just a second, I thought I saw something in my wife's expression. Something knowing. Gone almost instantly. But it was there. Final moment, realization. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This wasn't just her showing up. Something else was going on. Something I didn't understand yet. I slowly locked my phone, set it back on the table, and looked straight ahead, trying to stay calm, trying not to overreact, trying to figure it out, because whatever this was, it had already started, and I was already in it. That message, enjoying your night? At first, it felt random, then strange, then uncomfortable, and then, it became clear. This night wasn't ruined by accident. It was designed that way. Slow realization. I didn't answer the text. I didn't even move. I just sat there, staring at the table, while the noise around me blurred into something distant. And for the first time that night, I stopped reacting and started thinking. Every small moment replayed in my head. Her pause when I first mentioned the night. Her comments over the next few days. The way she said, "Must be nice." The way she asked, "Don't stay out too late." Then, her showing up. Not surprised. Not awkward. Not hesitant. Comfortable. Confident. Like she already knew how it would play out. Internal thought. This wasn't impulsive. This was planned. I slowly looked up. Across the table. At her. She was laughing at something her sister said. But her eyes, for just a second, flicked toward me. And there it was again. That same look. Not guilt. Not curiosity. Control. Connecting the clues. My phone buzzed again. I didn't need to check it. I already knew it was the same number. Then something clicked. Hard. She didn't just show up. She made sure I couldn't relax. The calls. The message. The timing. It wasn't about joining the night. It was about interrupting it. The test. I picked up my phone slowly. Opened the message again. Enjoying your night? I typed back. One word. Who is this? Sent. I waited. Across from me. My wife picked up her drink. Took a sip. Calm. Then, my phone buzzed. You really don't know? My chest tightened. Internal thought. No way. I didn't look at her this time. I just stared at the screen. Another message. Look around. And that's when something inside me dropped. Full reveal. I didn't turn my head right away. Because I already knew what I'd see. But slowly, carefully, I looked up. At her. She wasn't smiling anymore. She was just watching me. Calm. Still. Certain. And then, her phone lit up. Same exact moment mine did. She didn't pick it up. Didn't react. But she didn't need to. Internal thought. It's her. The number. The messages. The calls. All of it. Her. Chaos begins. My heart started racing. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just fast. Because now, everything felt different. This wasn't just awkward anymore. This was intentional. Dialogue first cracked. I leaned slightly toward her. Kept my voice low. Why are you texting me? She tilted her head slightly. I'm not. That answer, delivered so smoothly, so casually, made something snap inside me. Internal thought. She's still playing it. Second wave, pressure. My phone buzzed again. Careful. That was the message. Just one word. I locked my phone. Hard. My friend noticed. You good? I nodded quickly. Yeah, I'm fine. But I wasn't. Internal thought. What is she doing? Control shift. Then she leaned closer. Just enough so only I could hear. You seem tense. Her voice. Soft. Almost concerned. But underneath. Something else. I turned to her. What's going on? She held my gaze. For a long second. Then smiled. Nothing. Another message. I didn't even want to open it. But I did. You didn't think it was that easy, did you? That's when the panic started. Internal thought. Easy? What does that even mean? My mind started racing. Connecting things that didn't make sense before. The way she watched me. The way she showed up. The way she wasn't leaving. The real plan. And then, it finally clicked. This wasn't about the night. Not really. This was about something deeper. Something I hadn't been paying attention to. Internal thought. She didn't want to join. She didn't want to hang out. She wanted to prove something. Internal reveal. All those small moments over the past months. Her saying, must be nice. You get to do whatever you want. We never do things together anymore. At the time, they felt like complaints. Now, they felt like warnings. Impact. Real life bleeds in. I hadn't noticed. Not really. I thought everything was fine. Normal. Stable. But to her, this night, this one simple night, was proof. Proof that I had something that she didn't. Emotional breakdown. And suddenly, I wasn't angry anymore. I was overwhelmed. Because this wasn't about control, or jealousy, or even trust. It was about distance. A distance I didn't even realize had grown this big. Internal thought. How long has she felt like this? I leaned back in my chair. The noise of the brewery came rushing back in. Louder than before. Heavier. My friend was talking. Her dad was laughing. Her sister was scrolling on her phone. And my wife? She was just sitting there. Watching me. Silent confrontation. No words now. No messages. Just eye contact. And in that moment, I understood everything. She didn't ruin the night. She showed me something. Something I had ignored for too long. Final shift, acceptance. I picked up my drink, took a slow sip, then set it down. And for the first time since she walked in, I felt calm. Not because things were okay, but because I finally understood. Internal thought. This wasn't random. This wasn't petty. This was calculated. And honestly, it worked. Twist, respect. I looked at her again. Really looked. And for a brief moment, I felt something unexpected. Respect. Not for what she did, but for how precisely she did it. She didn't argue. Didn't fight. didn't complain. She created a moment that forced me to feel everything she had been feeling. In one night, fog scene 7, chaos fades, the rest of the night blurred. Conversations came and went. People laughed. Drinks were finished. But something had shifted. Permanently. No more messages. No more tension. Just quiet understanding. The ride home. The drive back was silent. No music. No small talk. Just the road ahead. And everything unspoken sitting between us. That night didn't end with a fight. It didn't end with shouting. It didn't end with accusations. It ended with realization that sometimes the biggest problems in a relationship aren't the loud ones. They're the quiet ones. The ones that build slowly, silently, until one day they show up, uninvited. Final message, life lesson. If you take anything from this story, let it be this. Respect isn't just about trust. It's about space, balance, awareness. Because if you don't notice the distance growing, someone else will. And they might not tell you with words. They might show you. Final CTA. If this story made you think, or hit a little too close to home, drop a comment below. Would you have reacted differently? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more real, powerful stories like this. Because sometimes, the quietest moments say the most. Sometimes it's not the big fights that damage a relationship, it's the quiet moments we ignore. This night wasn't just about a ruined guy's night. It was a wake-up call. A reminder that when you stop noticing the person next to you, they'll find a way to make you notice, one way or another. So tell me, was he wrong, or did she go too far? I really want to hear your thoughts. And if this story made you feel something, even just a little, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join this community for more real stories like this.